You know that feeling? The one where your inbox is just uh, a bottomless pit,
Oh, yeah,
where you're tackling the same questions, the same tasks over and over again.
definitely.
It's that constant struggle against sheer volume, right?
Yeah.
Especially in areas like customer support. You're always looking for a way to work smarter, not just harder.
Absolutely. That feeling of being overwhelmed by repetitive tasks is, well, it's pretty universal.
Yeah,
And in a world where emulation is everywhere and customer expectations are, frankly, higher than ever, finding that smarter way to work feels less like an option and more like a necessity.
totally. And it feels like AI is the word on everyone's lips right now as a potential solution to that exact problem.
It really is.
But taking it from a buzzy concept to real-world application, specifically in customer support, I mean, what does that actually look like? How is
Yeah.
it truly helping teams and businesses on the ground?
That's precisely what we dug into for this deep dive. We've explored a stack of material focused specifically on how AI is being deployed in customer support, like right now.
Okay. And our mission today is to really unpack what those sources reveal. We're talking about understanding what AI help actually means in practice.
Yeah.
Its tangible impact on productivity.
Yeah, the real effects.
How it ties into business growth.
Yeah.
Grappling with the question of AI reliability, which is huge.
It's super important.
How it actually gets integrated, the absolute critical role of, knowledge, its limitations, and ultimately how you even measure if it's working.
Right. Think of this as your shortcut to understanding the core reality of AI and customer support today.
Getting past the hype and seeing what the material says is actually happening and what truly matters.
Exactly.
Okay, let's dive in then. When we talk about AI help in customer support, the sources aren't talking about some, sci-fi future, are they?
No, not at all.
They're detailing specific practical applications. What does that actually entail?
Right. It's really about using AI to streamline or automate or maybe enhance existing support processes. Think concrete tools.
Like what?
Well, it's powering those initial auto replies you often get, automatically sorting and categorizing incoming tickets, providing the tech behind more sophisticated chatbots, and making self-service systems much more intelligent and effective.
So it's not just one single thing, but like a suite of tools handling different parts of the support interaction.
Precisely.
And what are the primary jobs these AI tools are being put to work on, according to the material?
Based on what we looked at, the main actions are things like routing tickets to the right person or team much faster than a human probably could.
Okay.
Providing instant answers to common questions, the FAQs that come up constantly.
All the time.
Significantly reducing customer wait times, which everyone appreciates. And essentially acting as a buffer to keep the help desk from being completely, buried under a mountain of requests.
Which, when you think about it, naturally leads to the outcomes highlighted, right? Happier customers because they get help quicker.
Yep.
Less burnout for the support team who aren't just drowning in volume.
A huge factor.
And some serious time savings across the board.
Exactly. It directly addresses that volume and speed challenge that just plague support teams.
That makes perfect sense. And speaking of those support teams, let's talk about their day-to-day. How does AI, according to the sources, help them work smarter? It seems like it's about more than just speed.
It fundamentally changes the nature of the work, really. It does this by taking the relentless busy work off their plate.
Ah, the busy work.
Yeah, the sources give examples we can all relate to, like answering the identical FAQ for the 10th time that hour,
Yes.
manually applying tags to every single incoming ticket, or having to type out the same step-by-step instructions again and again.
The sheer repetition, it must be draining.
Precisely. So the AI tools step in. They can draft those quick, accurate responses automatically, tag and categorize tickets instantaneously,
Right.
suggest relevant knowledge-based articles to the agent while they're typing, which is super helpful. And importantly, they learn and improve the more they're used, getting better at predicting needs and providing accurate assistance over time.
So it's like having this incredibly efficient assistant that handles all the predictable stuff.
Pretty much. Yeah.
And the payoff for the human agents then? What do they get to do?
It frees them up for what the sources really emphasize is the real value. Tackling the genuinely complex, unique problems that require critical thinking.
The stuff machines can't do easily.
Exactly. And crucially, dedicating time to building rapport and meaningful relationships with customers. It's a shift from just being ticket closers to being true problem solvers and relationship builders.
That's a really powerful reframing of the support role, actually. Now, let's scale up a bit. How do the sources connect AI and support not just to team efficiency, but to the broader goal of, say, business growth?
Yeah, the material makes it really clear this isn't just some nice-to-have tech feature. It's presented as a strategic business tool.
Okay.
It's about scaling your operations smarter, supporting a growing customer base faster, and doing it while actually reducing operating costs per interaction.
Interesting. Reducing costs while scaling. So what are the components of that business of AI in support that contribute to growth?
Well, key factors include significantly lowering those first response times, which is a huge driver of customer satisfaction and ultimately retention.
Makes sense.
It enables offering 204/7 support without needing a, prohibitively expensive global human team. It allows smaller support teams to effectively manage a very large audience as the business scales.
Right, handling more volume.
And something often overlooked, it provides incredibly valuable insights by analyzing patterns and trends in the massive volume of customer queries.
So it's not just handling tickets, it's providing intelligence back to the business itself.
Exactly. The sources really distill this down to a core idea, don't they?
They do. The essence seems to be that AI empowers businesses to basically do more with less.
That's it. That efficiency gain and scalability are direct contributors to sustainable growth.
Okay, but let's get to maybe the elephant in the room. The question everyone is probably asking themselves, can AI answers actually be reliable?
Yeah.
Or is there a huge risk of providing wrong or unhelpful information? Because that could quickly damage customer trust.
It's a completely valid question, and the sources tackle it head on. They state that reliability has improved significantly, and yes, AI can provide reliable answers.
Okay, yeah.
But, and this is crucial, it's not magic. Its reliability is heavily dependent on being paired with a robust, well-managed knowledge-based system.
So the quality of the information it's drawing from is the absolute foundation. Garbage in, garbage out, basically.
Precisely. The sources outline the necessary conditions for reliable AI support. The underlying knowledge base must be meticulously up to date.
Got it.
The AI needs to be trained on the company's specific proprietary data, not just, scraped general internet information.
Right, context matters.
And critically, there must always be a clear and easy path for the customer to escalate to a human agent if the AI isn't understanding, or it can't solve the problem, or maybe the customer simply prefers human interaction.
That human fallback is key. And the sources had an interesting perspective on the customer experience when these conditions are met.
They did. They observed that when implemented correctly, AI actually smooths the customer experience rather than making it feel cold or frustrating. Yeah, it's about providing quick, accurate resolutions for the common, simpler issues, leaving the human touch for where it's truly needed. It enhances, it doesn't detract.
That really challenges the common perception that automation automatically equals a worse customer experience.
Yeah.
So based on the material, what is the day-to-day, like the current role of AI in customer support operations?
Today, its primary role seems to be handling that sheer volume of incoming tickets, preventing teams from just getting swamped and burnt out.
Okay.
And it serves a kind of dual purpose, supporting both the customer and the agent.
Supporting both. How does that look? What does that mean?
Well, for the customer, it's those instant answers to routine questions, acting as a capable first responder, essentially.
Right.
For the agent, it's suggesting quick replies they can maybe tweak and use, highlighting similar past cases that might provide context or solutions,
Oh, that's useful.
and even silently enabling multilingual support by translating queries and responses in the background. That removes a huge barrier without needing a global team of human linguists on standby 24/7.
Wow. Okay. And the inherent advantage of a machine doing that kind of, well, grunt work.
As the sources note, it works tirelessly, consistently, around the clock without needing breaks or getting tired. That provides a really stable baseline level of support availability.
Okay, for businesses hearing this and thinking, how do we even start? The question of integration into an existing help desk system comes up. The material suggests it doesn't have to be this massive, like, rip and replace project.
Absolutely not. No, the recommended approach is definitely incremental. Start simple and build from there.
What would those initial simple steps look like then?
Based on the sources, it could be as straightforward as adding an AI-powered chatbot to your website or maybe within your app. You connect it to your existing knowledge base, that's key. And you configure it explicitly to hand off complex issues or customer requests it clearly can't handle to a human agent.
Start small, focused, and then you can layer on more sophisticated features once that foundation is solid.
Exactly. Once that initial deployment is working well, you can integrate features like automated ticket tagging, predictive suggestions for agents on replies or solutions, maybe more advanced intent detection to better understand the customer's underlying need, even if they phrase it poorly.
Right.
The core message really is you don't have to go all in from day one. Find a specific, maybe painful problem AI can solve and start there.
That phased approach makes a lot of sense for adoption, much less intimidating. Now, we keep circling back to the knowledge base. The sources place enormous emphasis on having a solid knowledge base management system. Why is that component so, well, non-negotiable?
This is arguably one of the most critical points the sources make, yeah. They state pretty unequivocally that the effectiveness and particularly the reliability of your AI help is directly tied to the quality and structure of the content it has access to.
So an AI is only as smart as the data you feed it.
That's exactly it. A poor knowledge base means a poor AI support experience, full stop.
It gives the AI nothing smart to work with.
Right. The sources detail what makes a strong knowledge base foundation. Articles need to be clear, concise, and easily searchable. They need to be updated frequently, really frequently, to reflect current products, policies, and known issues.
Consistency matters, too.
Yeah, there should be consistent formatting and tone across all content. And a really key point. You need mechanisms to collect feedback on the articles, both from the support agents who use them internally and the customers who use them externally.
That feedback loop sounds vital for keeping it accurate. And what are the benefits of building that strong knowledge base, even if you don't have AI yet?
Oh, even without AI, a good knowledge base is invaluable. It empowers customers to find answers themselves, which significantly reduces inbound ticket volume right there.
It's all service, yeah.
It also helps agents find information quickly, speeding up human response times. But when you combine it with AI, it becomes the essential fuel. It allows the AI to actually provide accurate, helpful information rather than just, guessing.
Got it. It's the brain trust the AI accesses. But keeping that brain trust up to date sounds like a continuous effort. Is it ever really done?
No, the sources are very clear. It's an ongoing process, definitely not a one-time project. Maintaining it requires real discipline.
So what are the recommended methods for keeping it current? How do you do that?
They suggest scheduling regular reviews, maybe monthly, maybe quarterly, just to check content accuracy. Adding new articles or updating existing ones whenever new products launch or policies change is crucial.
And cleaning house.
Absolutely. Ruthlessly archive or update outdated information so the AI isn't pulling up irrelevant answers. And as we mentioned, actively solicit feedback on articles from both agents and users. They're often the first to spot inaccuracies or gaps in the information.
Right, leveraging your users. And I remember there was a fascinating note about AI actually helping with the update process itself.
Yes, that's a really interesting application, kind of closing the loop. The sources mention AI can be used to analyze common customer queries that aren't currently answered well in the knowledge base. And it can then automatically suggest topics for new articles that are needed to fill those content gaps.
That turns it into a proactive feedback mechanism for the knowledge base itself. Very cool. Okay, we've painted a pretty positive picture of how AI helps, how to start, and what it needs. But, it's not a silver bullet. What limitations do the sources point out about AI and customer support? It's important to set realistic expectations here.
Absolutely. And the sources are quite pragmatic about AI's current limits. They note, for example, that AI fundamentally cannot replicate human empathy or read emotional nuance in text the way a person can.
That makes sense.
If a customer is expressing frustration or distress, an AI might process the words but completely miss the underlying feeling. It also relies heavily on clean, structured data. Messy or incomplete information will just lead to poor performance.
Right.
And it generally struggles with truly unique, complex, or highly case-specific problems that require creative thinking or don't neatly fit existing patterns in its training data or the knowledge base.
So it's great for the predictable, the routine, but not the exceptional or the deeply human elements. What's the conclusion the sources draw about the optimal model then? Is it all AI or all human?
No, the strong conclusion is that the most effective model is hybrid.
Hybrid.
AI handles the high-volume, repetitive, predictable tasks quickly and efficiently. Humans step in for the complex problem-solving, the unique edge cases, and crucially, the interactions where emotional intelligence and building genuine rapport are essential.
So leveraging the strengths of both.
Exactly. The phrase used in the material is very apt. It's not either, it's both.
That hybrid model really seems to make the most sense. Finally, if a business implements AI in their support, how do the sources say they should measure if it's actually providing value? What metrics really matter?
Yeah, measuring impact is key. They list specific, tangible metrics to track success. You look at things like average response and resolution times, are they decreasing?
Okay.
Customer satisfaction or CS8 scores, are they improving or at least holding steady after implementation?
Important baseline.
Ticket deflection rates, how many issues is the AI handling completely without needing any human intervention? And crucially, look at agent workload and even burnout levels. Is the AI actually making the team's job more manageable and sustainable?
So if those key numbers are moving in the right direction,
Yeah.
say response times down, CI up, deflection up, workload manageable.
That's your clear indicator, according to the sources, that the AI implementation is successful and providing the intended benefits. It's working.
Bringing it all together then, the concluding sentiment from the material seems to be that AI in customer support has really moved past being just a theoretical concept or something for the future.
Definitely. It's presented very much as a present-day tool for solving real pressing problems, working smarter, supporting customers faster and more consistently, and enabling businesses to scale effectively without proportionally scaling your costs.
They really emphasize that it's a game changer for managing help desk volume, making knowledge bases more powerful, and finally tackling those overwhelming backlogs that so many teams face.
And perhaps the most impactful takeaway, especially countering the initial fear that often surrounds AI discussions, the core message is that AI isn't about replacing human support agents, it's
Yeah.
about empowering them.
Empowering them to step away from the robotic, repetitive tasks and focus their energy, their creativity, their empathy on the interactions where only a human can truly connect and solve the toughest problems. It lets the human side of support be more, well, human.
Exactly. It's about making the entire support ecosystem more efficient, more scalable, and ultimately more focused on high-value human connection by letting AI handle the predictable mechanics underneath.
Which leaves us with a thought drawn straight from the source material, something for you to consider after this deep dive. If AI handles the predictable, what new possibilities does that truly unlock for the human side of customer connection? What could your support team, or maybe any team, achieve if they were freed from that relentless busy work?
That's a powerful question. It really gets to the heart of the potential here, beyond just efficiency gains. What new value can be created?